Hello everyone, welcome to my discussion for this week. Today I'll be covering why data visualization is important, as well as some of the best practices when visualizing data. Before we get into why we visualize data, let's first answer a critical question. What are data visualizations? According to Michael Friendly, as cited by Maya Gomez in her article Data Visualization, Best Practices and Foundations, data visualizations are information that has been abstracted in some schematic form, including attributes or variables for the units of information. According to Gomez, abstracting information in this manner is a method of coherently and visually communicating quantitative content. According to IBM, as cited by Gomez, 2.5 quintillion bytes of data are created every day. Therefore, being able to present this data in a human consumable format is increasingly important as, according to Gomez, it's difficult for the human brain to comprehend numbers larger than 5 without abstraction. As Gomez points out, what is the use of this gargantuan amount of data if we can't understand it? Therefore, the primary reason that you should visualize data is just to provide an abstraction for understanding the data in a way that humans can understand. Without being able to have these sorts of abstractions, our data may be nearly useless. Now that we understand why we should visualize data, let's discuss when we should actually create such visualizations. According to Gomez, visualizations are of vital importance to decision makers. This makes sense as the decision makers are rarely the people who understand the ins and outs of the data itself. So having an easy-to-read abstraction of the massive amounts of data can create an easy way for non-technical staff to understand the data being acted upon. In the event that such decisions are taking place, having a data visualization can help inform them to make the best decision possible for the company or the organization. However, visualizations are not solely for non-technical staff and decision makers. Any decision that can be informed by data can benefit from having a visualization of that very same data. When performing data analysis, having the ability to visualize the data we're working with can be of vital importance of informing our decisions for how to visualize the data as well as how to better perform our analysis. Now that we know a few situations we might want to visualize data in, let's cover some of the best practices for doing just that. Gomez defines 6 principles that should be heeded when creating visualizations. The first is that data visualizations should have a clear purpose. Having a clear purpose or goal is very important since graphs for graph's sake help no one better understand the data. If you have a graph of nonsensical information, it's going to help no one. The second principle is knowing your audience. It's best to ensure that you make the visualization for the people who are meant to view it. If it's full of technical jargon, you can't very well expect a layman to understand the visualization in the slightest. The third principle is to use visual features. Making sure that you're using the right chart for the type of data you're conveying is very important, as using the wrong type of chart can make the data misleading or hard to interpret. The next principle is keep it organized and coherent. Don't just make a messy visualization and don't just focus on making it look pretty. Focus on making it easily readable and make it very easily understood. The next is to make it inclusive. Make sure that you're using colors appropriately and that you aren't making it hard for any one group to utilize your visualization. For example, make sure you're not using colors that people are often colorblind to, as that might make it harder to be inclusive. The final principle that Gomez lists, and the one that I think is most important, is that data should not be distorted for your visualization. When creating a visualization with a clear purpose, you might be overly focused on that purpose, so it is important ethically to ensure that your visualization is true to the data that it represents, so it does not accidentally misinform anyone. In conclusion, today we've gone over why we visualize data, when to visualize data, as well as some of the principles that are important to keep in mind while creating visualizations. Hopefully, these will come in handy next time you're creating a visualization to present your own data. Thank you for listening.